evening, everybody, and thank you so much for watching Candidly Speaking with Shell and Kel. I am Shell, and sadly, we are minus Kel this evening. Kellen apparently just about once a year has a really bad bout with bronchitis, and that has kind of reared its ugly head right now, and she is feeling I was going to say a little under the weather. She's a lot under the weather, y'all. So please just keep her in your thoughts if you wouldn't mind. She's just a sick little girl, and we miss her. The show is going on, but it will not be the same. So get well soon, Kellen. We miss you terribly. And yesterday was her birthday, bless her heart. So horrible way to spend your birthday in bed. But anyway, thank you so much for being with us. We just appreciate it so much. And we are being sponsored tonight by our fantastic producer, Bruce Himmelblau. Bruce is with Blue Sky Video. He is a live stream producer. He makes everything we do just so easy because I don't do anything at all. I just kind of sit here and, yap. But anyway, he is a YouTube strategist. Bruce Himmelblau. He's got fantastic hair. He is wonderful. You should know Bruce. And also brought to you by Cards That Wow. That is Kellen's company. She makes amazing cards for any occasion. She will make your logo, represent your business in just such a professional manner. And I promise you, whoever gets the card, when they open it, they will say, wow. So again, Cards That Wow and Blue Sky Video Productions. Thanks so much. If you're watching, please jump on and let me know that you're here. Tell us where you're from. And also, if you're watching the replay, I would love to know that as well. If you could just put that in the comments, put hashtag replay. That would be wonderful. So you have heard Kellen and I talk a little bit about a group that we are so pleased and so honored and so fortunate to be in. It's called Megamind. Bruce Himmelblau is a Megamind as well. And our guest tonight is a fellow Megaminder, and he is wonderful. One of the nicest guys ever. His name is Randy Chaffee, and he is a road warrior, and he's going to talk about that tonight. And he's also going to talk about Randy 2.5, the hybrid amazing. So please join me in welcoming Randy Chaffee. Look at you.
Well, I thought Kellen was going to be on it. I didn't want to take a chance.
You really just can't be too careful these days, can you?
Be.
You are hilarious. And we've got a couple people, it looks like, joining us right now. We've got Kim Hubbs. Hey, Kim, how are you? And here's the thing, Randy. I can't see 2 feet in front of me, okay? That's and okay. When I wear my glasses, I've got those that they do the blue blocking thing. And my whole face looks blue. So I look like a Smurf or the Avatar woman or whatever. So the other person is John
Marchand.
Okay. Well, welcome, John.
John's a good dude, man. He's a brother in arms. He's a fellow road warrior, been doing this for, well, he's not quite as old as I am. So, but I have a note here. I'm going to show it to you. So I didn't forget.
Okay.
45 in your promo and in your or whoever did the announcing the show on Facebook and LinkedIn and whatever. I had 2 or 3 people say, "Dude, you only 45?" And because you put 45-year, yeah, and I think some people read that as I'm only 45, so thank you, because I'm ever so slightly over that. So thank you.
Because I thought that was actually, I thought you were a little shy of 45.
Yeah, well, that's what I feel, shy of 45. I actually, the Dixie chick will kind of sometimes say I'm more like 12 mentality wise, but
But don't you feel younger than that? Sometimes I will be thinking about something and I think, well, gosh, I will react like I'm 25 years old. And I think, I'm not. I'm a higher number than that. But I really do. And I can remember my mom when I was younger speaking about that. And, I was 18 and she'd say, Michelle, I really kind of feel like I'm 18 as well. I sometimes have to remind myself that I'm not. And I thought, oh, that's great, Mom. And I'm thinking, what is she talking about? But now I completely get it.
You get
where
it.
you see
Yeah.
someone that was like this particularly happens to me if I see like one of my high school teachers, maybe that was not such a youngster when I had them, and they're getting on up in age now, and I think, well, I've been out of high school for almost 40 years, so
It's
it's
amazing.
crazy.
Time flies, and I don't know what you're supposed to feel like at an age because we've never been there before, right?
Right,
So,
right,
but all I know is if 64 is what this feels like, I'm damn
yeah.
happy because
Well,
I'm.
I have said before, and I've actually said on the show
Thanks, John.
before that I wouldn't trade. Yeah, exactly. I agree, John. But I would not trade, and I have said this before, so I apologize for repeating myself, but I wouldn't go back to what I used to be. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I would like to be a size 8 again, because now I'm just pushing a 10. But, I would really not trade for the self-assuredness and just I guess, the peace with myself. So I have a feeling you're the same way.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't go back at all. Hey, there's Cal. I wouldn't go back. I have no
Hey,
desire to
girl.
go back. I'm, you know, I'm just loving life as it is. And our fellow buddy Bam today posted a post that I shared just recently, and very applicable, I think, with about if we got through 2020, you can get through anything. It just proved what we can do, and you know what? We just handle
We'll
it,
be back.
and we just keep moving. We just keep going forward. I have no complaints, but I like certain things, of course not. But you
Right.
adapt and you improvise and you move forward, right? And make
Well,
life
and that's
good
all you
and live
can do. Just
live
don't
happy.
stop. Just don't stop. Just keep going.
That's it.
Keep going.
Hey, there's Zachary. Look at
Who is
Zachary.
that?
Isn't he a handsome
Long
dude?
time no talk to. Yeah, Zach's a
He's
good guy.
he's up there tearing up the realty market in Milwaukee. The dude's on fire. Do you mind if I drink with you?
Well, Randy, something really exciting happened to you this week. You want to talk about that?
It did, and you know what? As a matter of fact, while I talk about it, because I'm gonna find something here real quick. We already established that I'm somewhat old, right? So between Dix and I, the Dixie chick, we have 8 grandkids, right? And 4 kids. And a key to that is, if I can find this pic now, I may not find it. I should have had it. Oh, there it is. I should have had it up earlier, but I didn't. Anyways, this week, there it is. This week, we became great grandparents. Great. Great. And the funny thing is, I always thought I was kind of a great papa, but now I guess I am titled great papa now. Great grandpapa. Wow. So yeah, that's a big deal. Thanks for asking. Yeah, that's a huge event.
Well, and his name is Noah, and
yes.
he lives where?
He lives in Jackson, Michigan, which is hi JR. That's southern Michigan, right in the center part of southern Michigan. Basically 35-ish miles straight west of Ann Arbor. So
okay. So maybe after the first of the year, sometime you'll get to meet him face to face.
That's the hope, because I was hoping to be. Actually, I had a room reserved for this evening's show. I was supposed to be in Cincinnati tonight for a trade show tomorrow that got canceled or postponed technically. So I was all set. I actually asked for a specific room in this really nice hotel overlooking the city and the bridges. And it was going to be an awesome background, but that got postponed. And my granddaughter's still in the hospital yet. She has a little blood pressure thing going on yet that they want to get under control. And so, yeah, we're not going back for Christmas, unfortunately. So I hope sometime early mid-January, I hope, but we're going to do some Zooming with him. We've Zoomed with him already, and he already thinks I'm cool. At least I think
Well,
so.
of course, how cool that we can Zoom. And y'all, I apologize. Apparently, I'm having some issues with my internet. So I don't know if y'all are losing me or if I'm just losing you or what, but my apologies if that's just happening here.
You froze up a couple of times there, but if you freeze up, I'll just keep talking. I got 64 years with crap to say.
Okay, keep talking. And I have a knack of getting the worst frozen face ever. Ask Tim Lord if I'm going to break up.
Yeah, well, hey, Kim, thank you. Yeah, Do you ever notice, JR, you know I'll spoil him. You know
Sometimes
it.
the grandparents are a great dude. I concur, Kim. So,
Well,
Randy, you are a road warrior. Talk about that. What's a road warrior?
road warrior is, and I'm a recovering road warrior now, but road warrior really is. There's a guy who spent 44 and three quarters of his 45-year life of selling on the road, hitting the week after week after week after week, airports, rental cars, hotels, that whole thing, calling on customers and seeing my customer friends. And it's a life I enjoy. It's a life I'm pretty good at. And I miss it a little bit, but when I'd been thinking about pre-COVID, isn't it funny how we are already doing the pre, during, and post, right? I mean, if one of these days, hopefully we'll be doing, well, back post, we'll be talking about now in post-COVID, right?
Right.
But regardless, pre-COVID, if you will, I started to feel like I needed to change up a little bit. I needed to become a little more virtual. I just didn't know what that meant or what I wanted to do. It's a hard life hitting the road week after week after week. Enjoyable, but hard. And it's tough to have the amount of, you get a lot of FaceTime with your customers, but maybe 3 or 4 a day if you're lucky. You got one day of travel and another day of travel. So maybe if you do Saturdays, you've got maybe 4 days of actually customer touches. And I said, I think you can do better. Well, then COVID made me have to do better. And so I really spent a lot of time at the start of COVID trying to figure out, how do I be virtual? What's that even mean? So I did a lot of studying, took several courses, read several books. And so now I coined a phrase for myself at one point, which may or may not be something to do with a book if I'm thinking about writing, but I got to decide if I have more than 4 pages, which that's all I have right now. So, but I coined this phrase a Randy 2.5 hybrid amazing, because a lot of people, I think, make a mistake, and I don't want to make this mistake of, I'm just going to ride this out. I can't wait to go back to the old normal. Go back. I don't think we're going back to the old normal. We'll go back some, and we need to go back some. And we have to go back. So my industry is a real people person, a be with people, bro hugging and shaking hands and buying lunch and doing all those things. But I don't think that we will probably ever go back to that 100% old road warrior mentality. I'm not going to. But I also don't think that I can sit in my office with a bunch of different backdrops and things and do videos all day, which I do now. But I can't do that forever either. So I'm really trying to develop, and that's where the hybrid comes in. It's a hybrid of the two. I'm trying to. Amazing is just, why not? Why not be amazing at everything we do, right? So my goal is to be amazing, and to hybrid a form of me that is old road warrior when I can, when you get to see me, you need to see me, but augment that with these kind of things, with shows. I'm going to be working on my own show, hopefully to kick off in January, which you will be on sometime, but if you want, but combine that. Okay, good. But with social media and with videos and text videos and email videos, and I found that I can actually be in front of my customers more working from home than when I'm traveling. Because they see 4 or 5 posts a day on social media. They see me pop up on something like this. When I do emails or text, probably 60% of my texts and emails, probably plus or minus, I don't really quantify it, but I include a text of some type, or I should say a video. Rather than just saying, "Hey Michelle, did you get my quote?" There's my Liz right there. That's my marketing assistant. She's what makes me look good in everything else I do. But anyway,
I heard about her. Yes, she's amazing.
She does good. She's working on some really good stuff for me right now. But my point is, you as a customer right now, you might actually see me 20 times a day, right? you will see me once when I'm road warrioring, does that work? And you might see me
Warrior.
once. That'll work. I English is my second language. It's and that's the only language I speak. But
I gotcha.
It's funny is that when I'm traveling, they may see me, and if it's a customer that I see often, it's still maybe once every 5 weeks, because I cover a lot of states and a lot of area. So in between time, unless there's something important, they may not see me unless they call or I give them a call about something. But here, if they follow me on social media, they follow these kind of things, they see me daily. So I think there's a real. So I think the key that I would say to anybody that's young into the sales world, young doesn't have to be aged, but just new in the sales world, maybe is a better word. You can't be all one way or the other. Where do I think it'll fall? I don't know, 60-40, maybe at the end of this whole thing, 60% virtual, 40% travel, maybe. But right now, I'm really still working on things. But anyway, so that's what it is. Road warrior really is just that hard-nosed pounding the road, And I remember one time 2 years ago, I got home and I dragged in home, as a matter of fact. And that was when I really first started thinking I need to do something. But then I got busy running the road and just didn't do it. But that was 8 weeks, almost 9 weeks of it was Sunday afternoon leaving, or Monday early, like the red eye, and getting in Friday night at 10, 11 o'clock to the airport, or Saturday morning. 8 solid weeks. Not that I'm the only one that does that, because a lot of people do. All I'm saying is that's all fun the first week or two. It's not bad the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Then you got two shows in there, right? Which are, well, a little bit of this and that, So you get a point where it's like, I hate this right now. I love it, but I hate it, because it's like, wow. So I knew there had to be a better way. And so, silver linings to everything. And it's hard to say there's a silver lining to COVID, but to take a good out of a bad situation.
Right.
It forced me and gave me the time to really try to make that adaptation. And it's an adaptation I'll never go back to. I'm just saying, maybe it's 60-40, maybe it's 60-40 the other way. I don't know what that'll look like, but there's always going to be a fair amount of virtual. It just is. Sold on it, 100%.
But Randy, you were really ahead of the curve, ahead of everyone else here, because I got to tell you, I hadn't pre-COVID in February, even probably in March, when everything really started, I hadn't given virtual a thought. I did social media, but I didn't really use it for my business. Every now and then, I would get on there. I put people in jobs for a living, and I would get on there and say, hey, I've got this job, if you're interested, let me know. But, now every day, we're doing the lives and we're doing this and sending videos. I didn't know how. The first live I ever did, you have seen.
I was there.
You were there. You lived to tell. And let me tell you, it has been the subject of much discussion. Thank you very much, Eric Bam, in Megamind. But at the end, I just turned off the phone because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. So had you told me then that I would be doing a weekly live stream, didn't know what a live stream was even.
Right.
So it really, but I think the two things really do complement. And no, we're never going to, stop either one. But I certainly can't imagine removing the virtual piece now from, how I interact with my clients or my employees. I just can't imagine that. Now, I sell in the Louisville, Kentucky area, so I'm certainly very localized. I can't imagine, being gone for 3 or 4 days at a time, like you are accustomed to. But even that, when I could, just hop in the car and go down the road and see a client, I still, this is going to be a part of the way we, do business now. And I like it. I really like videos. I really like sending videos to prospective clients. And after you come to terms with, okay, this is what I look like on camera, this is what I sound like, and I sound like I'm from Hooterville, but I have embraced that. I'm good with that now. But once you get past that, I mean, I wouldn't want to go back. I like it, but I
I
do miss,
agree.
the face to face, because that really hasn't started back up for me in a big way. A little, but not,
Right.
like it will.
Yeah. The funny thing is talking about face to face. So I had some when I was back, because I live in Naples, Florida, and we go back to northern Michigan in the summer for a few months. And when I was up there, I took a few road trips, a couple more nights, got back out and saw some folks I haven't seen. And the funny thing was, everybody did the dance. And that's what I call it, the dance, because you walk in, and the first thing you walk in is you're holding your mask going, do I put it on or don't I? You're looking to see if, are they wearing or are they not wearing,
What's
right?
everybody else doing?
Okay, they're not, I'm not done with that. But then you walk in and you don't know, so you start to dance back and forth, because, do you want to shake hands or do they want to shake hands? Do you want a fist bump, elbow bump? You're going to bro hug? And so you start doing all this because nobody knows what to do. It's just hilarious. The first time that happened, we both started laughing, and finally we said, just give me a hug, come here, because it was like, I mean, at this point we're no mask with a foot and a half apart. Let's just come here, but it was just
right.
So it's funny, but it's great to be back. It is great to be back when you can, doing, pizza pie lunches with some of my customer friends, breakfast or coffee and donuts, or dinner and a drink or two in the evening. I miss that stuff, because I just use a term I think that's important to bring up, just in my way of thinking, is a customer friends, because that's a true statement. And it's all about being engaged and being engaged in life in general, and being engaged in your work life. They're not customers. They are, but they're customer friends. And
right.
So when I go travel, I go all week seeing my friends. So it's a good time. I mean, it's not just work. And I know that and I know you do too, and many of us in our group are blessed by that. And I understand not everybody is, but I love what I do so much that 80-hour weeks are a big deal. It's just a big deal, because I'm enjoying it every second, and it's just, no, not every second. You get that 20 minutes of suck, right?
Well,
But
yeah. I mean,
but
there's some bad that goes with the good, but yeah, I love it, and I miss seeing my customers face to face. And again, prior to this, I don't know. I had social media relationships with some of them, but now it's almost all of them, and we engage with each other. And I'm looking at pictures of their children and their grandchildren, and they're commenting on my
right.
kids, and it's building that relationship, and we all have to have that. We all need that.
Yes.
And certainly, those are the people you want to do business with as well. We
Absolutely.
all know that you want to do business with your friends. And
Mm-hmm.
when I comment on their grandkids, or when they comment on my kids, it's sincere.
Oh,
We're
absolutely.
genuinely interested in what's going on with them.
Right.
And I think if you're in sales and you don't have that kind of relationship with your clients or your customers or whatever you call them, then I have to wonder if you're selling the right thing, or if you're doing the right thing, because it's a blast. I can't imagine doing anything else.
Oh, and neither can I. And I think if you don't develop those relationships, and that's not what you're into, and bringing delivering merit, right? Bringing merit, bringing value, whatever terms we want to use.
Yeah.
Because I was talking to somebody about that today, and I said, to me, my way of selling, and the way I believe, is that I need to earn the right to ask you for some business. As a matter of fact, if I do it right, I shouldn't even have to ask you.
That's right.
Right?
It's
You're
just
going to
natural,
offer me the business. It's a natural thing if you do it
a
right.
natural progression. That's absolutely
Exactly.
right.
And so you build the relationships and find out what their needs are. We all know this stuff, but I think that goes along with what you just said, which is if you don't engage with the customer, and you don't become friends with them, at least to some extent, or the extent that they'll let you or want to, but then all you have is an order. And an order, you can't build business on an order. You have to build business on a relationship that's continual, on-to-gone business. Like I tell guys, I know I need your order. I know I need this order to get started, right? I have to prove myself, prove my company, everything that I've just told you, the last 7 visits about what we're going to do for you and so forth. But I can't prove that until we have an order. But the first order is meaningless outside of that, because I want that order 10 years from now still, right?
Absolutely.
And if you,
Absolutely.
and that's the only way you get that. So if, and a lot of sales guys get so hung up on just getting this order, and all that is just an order. That's all it is.
That's an order. That's right. You have that next order. That's automatic. You know, you're going to have it from then on out. Again, people want to do their business with their friends. So you get it, Randy. Kim just had a question, and I can't see it now, Bruce. I can't read it. Randy, how will you build on your success this year in 2021? And I know you have had a phenomenal 2020.
It's been a good 2020. And, Kim, I wish I had this really profound thing, because that would just make me sound really smart. But the real honest answer is I'm going to continue building on what I'm doing now, because 2020 allowed me to not only continue to grow business, but it allowed me to develop the things we've been talking about, so that I can start January 2nd, because I may work a little on the 1st, but I may be drinking a glass of wine and eating something. But I will be preparing, because I think you have to prepare for battle every day. Every day. I prepare every 365 days a year.
Right.
Maybe 3 minutes, maybe 30 seconds, but there's some prep done. But the difference is, I believe this hybrid amazing that I'm working on for myself works. The difference is, the beauty of 2021 is I started this process March 17th on 2 airplanes, trying to figure out if I'm going to get home for sure, because the world's imploding, and will I ever travel again ever in life? So that's when I started this. Holy crap, I got to figure something out. But it took another 2, 3, it took a long time to get. I'm not where I want to be yet, but to get from there to here has been a monstrous and big move. So the plus side of 2021 is I'm starting January 2nd, 100x from where I was March 17th. Does that make sense? And Kim, I don't know if that answers the question. That's the answer.
Yeah. Well, really, I think you can just continue to do what you're doing, because you're doing it correctly. You're doing everything right. Yeah. So
a lot to fix. A lot to do. A lot of things coming up, but so you're freezing up again. So I'm talking over you. I don't know if you're talking now or not.
You know what? And you were frozen on me there too, Randy. So I'm sure we both said something brilliant.
It was very brilliant. I assume that when I open my mouth, it's brilliance. Hey, speaking of our friend Kellen, Kellen, I did want to show. Here it is. I forget what the camera is. See that card? That's one of her cards. That wow. There it is, right there.
That she makes is amazing. Definitely wow worthy. Yes.
Is that? Look at that. Look at that with the in the Superman kind of guy. The superhero.
Yes, she got you to post for that. Absolutely.
She did. Yes, that is me. But there's a funny story about that. Is that we had to change it up a little bit, because many years ago, this is how old I am. There's a character, a superhero called Super Ran, R-A-N, Super Ran. But comic strips felt like Superman might be better, so I kind of sold the rights to that for 12 cents. So, but this is all we had that was left over of Super Ran. That's it. So, but that's the kind of stuff that she does.
I like amazing stuff. I want to be Superman too.
You can be Superman too. I like it. It's perfect.
But yeah, because for those of you who don't know, my first name is actually Randy. So we kind of it's like the 2 Randys tonight. I'm named after my daddy, but I'm fancy Randy with an I.
Right. Yes. That is a cool name. Mine is,
But I've never.
and mine, by the way, is Randy. It's not Randall or Randolph, which I one time thought I wanted to put it on my business cards, Randy or Randall, then with the parentheses, Randy, just to make it look cool, but it's not really that cool.
Yeah.
I don't like, I think my name's stupid anyways. It's such a 1950s name, but it is what it is.
Is it?
I mean, I already got the website. I bought from
don't
Randy. I can't change it.
No,
So.
and that was a great idea. But about the name, talking about a 1950s name, I think that when I graduated from high school, I was born in 1967. Okay, that's the year Michelle was like the #1 song, okay, by the Beatles.
Oh, okay.
And that's where my parents heard my name. And when I graduated high school, it's like every other girl's name was Michelle. Okay.
Was it?
If
Okay.
it's not your first name, it was your middle name. Yeah, but everybody had Michelle stuck on there somewhere. But yeah, I buy from Randy.com. I think that's brilliant. So how does that work?
Okay. Well, and I use that, and I have .net, and then I Source One Marketing LLC, both things. So they all go to the same website. But I was semi-branding myself. Yep, there it is. I was semi-branding myself before I knew what branding meant, really. But where that came from was I remember being with a customer, and they'd asked me. I was in their store, their shop, and they asked me if I had something available. And I said, "What are you talking about?" And I said, "I don't really have that, but I said, give me a day or two, and I'll see if I can find it for you. I'll find some other rep that sells it. I'll find it for you." Then they said, "Well, you don't have to do all that." I said, "No, I'll do that." And they said, "Well, why would you do that? If you don't have it, you don't have it." I says, "Because you buy from Randy." And I think that struck me, and I got a card, and I said, "Okay, you buy from Randy," which I messed. So I said, "That needs to be a website. Only flip it around to their perspective."
Right.
And the only thing you need to remember, Michelle, if we're going to do business, is I buy from Randy. That's all you need to remember. And so that's where that was. So I got on GoDaddy, I think it was at the time, or one of those, and went and bought the domain name. I didn't know how to do that, but I did. I finally went through it. It took like 45 minutes for me to figure it out. And I just decided, man, I like that whole concept. And I like a little quirky. So,
Yeah, well, and again, showing you're smart, Randy, because again, just putting it in the customer's perspective. And I was speaking last week. I sold a new franchise recently,
right,
and have been doing training. And one of the things part of that training, we're training for operations, but sales as well. And one of the things that I've really been trying to drive home is everything from the customer's perspective, because they don't care about yours. They don't care about, you need to and I think it you stand in their shoes and think about what they're looking for. I buy from Randy. That's perfect.
Yeah.
So,
and you hit on a great point, and that's something I still have to work on, because being old school, your first thought when you do promotion, you do content, you do anything, is I'm going to tell you what I do.
Yeah.
And you don't really give a shit what I do. What you want to know is, what can I do for you, right?
That's exactly right. Exactly right.
And
how am I going to win by doing business with you? That's all I want to know.
That's all you want to know. Yes, all you want to know. At the end of the day. So I find myself still falling back into that old school thing of, I'll say,
well, because it's what we did forever. That's what we did.
Right.
That was the way you sold.
Exactly. So it's all an adjustment, but that's okay. That means that I'll work on those for 2021. There you go, Kim. That's what I'll do. I'll sell more from my customer's perspective, my customer friend's perspective, and less from my perspective. That's my goal for 2021. We got it right here. Next year we'll do this again, and you ask me if I did it.
Magic happens on Candidly Speaking with Shell and Kel.
See, look at that. We candidly spoke.
Master plan. But
beautiful thing.
Yeah, it has to be that way. Like I said, talking with Deborah, said our prospects are not looking. They don't want a new temporary staffing agency. That's not what they're looking for. They need more, whatever out the door. That's what they need. They need their sales increased, and you're going to have to show them how you're going to help them do that.
Right
but
on.
they couldn't care less about your 5 points of whatever. Just get me where I
Right.
need to be.
Exactly. Well, John just popped up, my buddy John Marchand, against sell solutions, not. No, what did he say? Sell solutions,
Sell
not.
solutions, not products. John,
There you go, John.
that's fantastic. And that's
Look at that.
exactly right. Sell solutions.
Yes, that's
John,
exactly what it
what
is.
do you sell? What does John sell?
He and I've been in the metal roofing accessory world and metal roofing and that for a long, long time.
Okay.
And we worked together actually at the same manufacturer for a while. So John and I've been buds.
Yeah.
He's an excellent dude. So
Well, and I'm sure he does very well because it sounds like he's got it figured out.
he's got it figured
And I
out.
guess this is from Kellen, maybe.
I'm guessing.
How have you had to deal with those on your team that were not performing as well as you or adapting perhaps as well as you have? What you think?
Well, that's the good news is everybody that's on my team, my agency team as a rep agency, they get me, they get what I'm about, they get where I want to go. They may find me slightly overbearing and over exuberant at times about it, but they get it. And so I only work with some, and I do a lot of things myself, and I have backup people that allow me to do nothing but just sell. But then I have some reps that work with me in certain, product specific areas. And I only bring on guys that think like I think, because, and if I was going to hire a brand new young guy right now or middle-aged guy for something, the technical aspects are important, but I'll take personality and attitude over the technical, because I can teach the technical. I can tell you what this screw is and all the 5 things you need to know about it to sell it, right? I can teach you that. What I never am going to be able to teach you, I have no desire, time, or patience for, is to teach you that you ought to get up every morning, dress up, show up, and perform, and to build relationships. If you don't have that, it's not going to work, right? And I don't think I'm not saying that's not teachable, but and Zach, there's a good point, Zach Biggie. People buy you, not the technical. And Zach, it's important, because what I love about that goes along with some things we've all heard in the past. But people buy at any level, maybe other than gigantic corporations and these billion-dollar deals or government projects, but generally speaking, even business to business, B2B, which is what I'm involved with and you're involved with, people buy on emotion still, on feelings and emotion, and then they substantiate it based on logic, right? So you need the logic there after the fact to support why they bought. And sometimes that logic is no more than just deliver what we say we will. If we screw up, which we will, that we take care of it quickly and keep them in the loop. And then they logically then substantiate that, and they may not do it consciously, but it might be subconsciously, but they're logically going, that's why I chose to buy from Randy. That's why I buy from Michelle, because, but they buy from the heart. They buy from, it's all emotion. And anybody says I'm sorry, I disagree if you don't agree with that. People at almost all levels, like I said, except for, maybe the multi-billion-dollar deals and government deals, doesn't matter if it's all, you open a blind bid and just is what it is. But in what we do, people buy from you and your temp agency because they feel comfortable with you, correct?
That's right.
That's
right. And really, in temporary staffing, I hate to say it, but again, I'm in Louisville, Kentucky. There is a pool of temporary staffing employees. Okay. Mm-hmm. There's this many, and that's how many there are. Those people may change daily, but that's from my competition. They can pick, any of us, and we are essentially, like I said, dipping out of that same pool. So I have to set myself apart. Exactly. I have to have that relationship, or I'm going to fail. And that's not something I'm interested in. So.
Exactly. And you're 100% right, because the same thing in my world. And I'm blessed to represent in my industry some big brand name products, companies, high ends. I mean, just people that love what we do. But Liz, because we ain't got it, you don't need it. That's another one of our slogans. Thank you. I love that slogan. I'll tell you about that one in a second. It's just kind of funny. But the point is, everything I sell, though, I have a monopoly on nothing. I sell fasteners, I sell vent material, I sell things into the post frame industry, metal roofing industry. Nothing I have is the only thing. You can buy it from 10 other people. Mm-hmm. So I have to compete with, why do I buy from Randy? And I think that's one of the biggest things. And that's what I try to sell, not from an egotistical standpoint, but from a standpoint that if the product's fair, the price is fair, the service is fair, here's where this will be a good deal for you, is nobody's going to treat you like I do. That's a promise I make. And that's the difference, right? But you got to be sincere. And then you got to follow up.
Yeah, because
right?
people see right through that. And I know you are. You make a disingenuous statement, that you may skate by on that for a minute, but your colors are going to show.
Oh, they are. So Liz popped that up there, so I'm going to tell you about that. One of our little logos on one of my banners behind me, because I've been shooting some videos the last 2 to 3 days. Got some more to do tomorrow. So I come up with this statement. Yeah, if we ain't got it, you don't need it. There you go. Thanks, Bruce. Look at that guy, producer extraordinaire. The reason where I came up with that was I was in a customer again one time. And they asked me about something, and I am what I get. You get what you get. But they asked about something. I don't even remember what that something was, but I remember it very well. There's 4 or 5 of us sitting around having some pizza at lunch, and they said, "Do you have X, whatever X was?" I forget what X was, but and I says, "You don't need it." Just like that, just quick. You don't need it. They go, "I don't understand." I said, "You don't need it." They go, "I'm confused. I think I need it. Why do you say I don't need it?" And I says, "Because I got it." And then they laughed, and we had a big yuck about it, But that's where that statement comes from, is if I got it, you don't need it. And there's a secondary thing to that, is I have a pretty diverse product line in my industry. I don't have everything, but the theory I'm trying to develop there is I almost got everything, right? So kind of, if I ain't got it, you probably don't need it, even though it's not totally true, but it's a play on words a little. But
you're a one-stop shop. Yeah.
So. Try to be. That, I'm the candy man.
That's right.
Or is it Randy Candy?
Well, yeah, we sometimes call Randy Candy. Yeah, so RC can be for Randy Candy or Randy Chaffee, whichever. So
yes, I remember the day that one was. Was you on that call that day?
I was on that call. Yes.
Yes, it was one of our Megamind meetups early before. I think Kellen was sponsoring that, right? Prior to her coffee with Kellen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that was one of those deals of, branding before I really knew I was branding. I didn't assign a name to it. I didn't say, "Hey, I'm going to be this brander." I just,
Well, and I think we're all thinking, more intently or intensely, whichever, about that now. Again, I don't know. And I've been doing this for 25 years. I've been doing staffing for 25 years. And again, I don't know that it's anything that I had really thought about. And, we had some time. We all worked through quarantine. Mm-hmm. I think I worked harder than I had ever worked, truthfully, when I was going to the office every day. But I found that I was reading so much more, and really the support that we all gave each other and continue to give each other. Some other things, but you can glean something from just about everything and say, how can I tweak this, to make it work for me, in my industry. And
not really sure you're still talking. I think you're still talking. I'll just talk to myself if you're talking.
Yeah, I think we lost her. I think she kind of froze up there.
So
Did she freeze up?
Oh, there she is.
There she is. She's back.
All right. Yeah, so
There's
basically,
Brucey, your best hair, the best beard in the country.
Ever said.
But that was brilliant, whatever you said.
It was.
I just
said I'm not going back.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I'm not going back. Of successful selling now. Am I frozen? I think I might be frozen.
There you go. Now you're present. Now you're back.
There we go. Yeah.
Yes. So, yes. Harder 2020
to achieve. I'm dropping the knowledge when the camera's frozen. So,
yes, exactly. Well, that's usually what but you know what you're kind of saying, I think, was, just we learn so much from each other, and probably the other biggest, well, I would say the biggest thing that happened to me as a result of COVID was this mastermind group that we're members of, you and I and Bruce. And it's just not only, unfortunately, it didn't work out that I came to Kansas City when a few of you met up, but next time I will, no matter what, if I sneak out under the veil of darkness. But basically, none of us, outside of a few of you that met up there, have ever met each other, but yet we're all great friends. And that's the power of virtual, right? That's the power of video. That's the power of talking every day with each other. If you're not
immersed in that, you don't understand that.
You don't. And to be able to jump on a group like we do and say, hey, I feel like I'm talking over you.
Been in the same. No, because I think I went away again.
You did.
But you're right. That is absolutely the power of one time. That was in Kansas City. And, and I would encourage anyone watching this, if you're, surround yourself with people who can help you. And, we got to build each other up. That's what we got to do, is build each other up. And that's what we do in both professionally and personally.
Yes. As Kellen just said, on their family. And I think these mastermind type group, or, however you want to loosely call it.
Right.
You can do them industry oriented, right? And that works. What I like about our group is that very few of us do the same thing. Very diverse group of personalities and very diverse group of talents. So there's seldom that we can't go onto our private group chat or whatever and ask a question or throw out a question. And if it's technically oriented, you're going to get folks like Bruce, Wes, different people that's done it, that know it, right? You want to know about writing a book, you got Brian Monahan. You want to talk about staffing or something, you got you want to talk about true sales, heart and heart, you got people like I and Bam and Tim Lord doing what he does up there with all his great stuff at Boston Impressions. So I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to get all kinds of good feedback. Sean back in his show and the great stuff he brings every day. I mean, we can go on and on. I don't want to miss people. But my point is that there's so much good stuff in that. So I recommend anybody that's not involved with a group. That's a big thing going into 2021 is if it's just industry, it's just industry. But I like the idea of an industry one, and I thought about that, maybe trying to develop one of some industry peers. I run out of time. That's my biggest problem. But one thing I love about a diverse group is if everybody's in my industry, we're all going to have the same opinions, sort of. And we're all going to come from the exact same place on almost everything, right? Where if you get diverse opinions when you get our group, I know it's been awesome. So that probably, I started my venture towards, or my adventure, I guess, and venture towards this virtual 2.5 hybrid amazing thing or whatever before Megamind, but that accelerated it 100x probably.
Sure.
because I'd still be stumbling around. I've learned so much from you, from Kellen, from Bam, from Tim, from Bruce, and what I you go on and on and on and on. It's good stuff, and you need to do that. But that comes back to a word I used earlier, and a word I talk about a lot is engagement. You got to be engaged. That's part of doing it. It's not just 9 to 5, 8 to 4, or whatever that is. If you want to be a true, and I come from a world of sales, obviously, as do you really. That's what you do. You sell your services. From a world of sales, if you're not engaged and you think it's 9 to 5, good luck.
Yeah.
Right. You just good luck. You'll never be
pay the bills that way, maybe, but
anything beyond that, you got to be engaged in it, and you got to take the call on Saturday from your customer and not be mad about it.
That's right. Absolutely. I can't say that enough.
Yeah. So.
But I think, just what you were talking about, what we were discussing with the relationship that we have in Megamind, that relationship or those relationships have been forged virtually. Do the same thing with your prospects. Do the same thing with your customers.
Exactly.
It works. It works.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
And if you are not privy to a group such as that, then start one. That's easy for me to say. I didn't start Megamind.
Right.
Bam did that. But
Bam did that.
Start one, because I think people are hungry for that, and the benefits are just really too numerous to count.
Well, they are, and what I've found is, I try to be as active as I can. We all get busy, right? And we all find times that we fall off for a day or 2 or 3.
Yeah, I've been kind of silent lately. Yeah.
But the one thing I've learned is that I've already could never give back enough to pay back what I've already got. Does that make sense? Never. I never could.
Absolutely makes perfect sense.
It's been massively, and part of it is, if you're in the right group, you are like-hearted, like-minded people that you might not be able to talk about these same things with family, with friends, right? You just can't. They don't always get, because if you're in a sales world, we're unique. We're probably type A personalities. We're pretty high energy, right? And not everybody likes that. Not everybody accepts that really well. And
as hard as that is to imagine that,
I can't imagine
get enough of us, which is, just boggles the mind. But
it is. And what's beautiful about our group, for example, is that there's, I think in our original Megamind Legacy group, there's 23 maybe of us now, 25,
now,
whatever that is, and there's nobody that's not high energy.
Oh,
so if you want to try being high energy, you bring your A game, baby, right? Because but that's energizing, right? And it's a theory, and it's what I like about it. It just popped in my head. It's brilliant. I read somewhere, somebody famous said this, maybe it was you, that if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yeah.
I can't remember who said that.
Was that like Steve Jobs, or he talked about hiring
Steve Jobs, or
hiring people that are smarter than you. That's what he said. So he maybe didn't.
That might have been, but that's the point. Is every day, there's somebody smarter than me in this group, and so you're always learning something. Because if you're the smartest one in the group, it makes sense. You're not going to learn anything,
right?
Maybe you can assist other people, and that's still not a bad thing.
Right.
But if you really want to get better at what you're doing, better at your craft, better at the game, which is what I call it, is the game, right? If you want to get better at the game, you better be around people that are way better than you are, so you can learn, right? And that's brilliant. And you were so amazed by that you just froze up again. I know you're staring with just absolute impressed with what I just said.
I'm trying to keep a nice smile on my face so I don't look like,
Do you realize that every time you freeze up on screen, you got a stupid look? Not you, everybody does. It's amazing.
No,
you never freeze up on screen
I
with,
do.
You never freeze up with this nice smile. Like it's always, stupid. But it's good stuff though. So
Marissa Meyer.
There it is. Look
Well,
at that.
thanks, Bruce. I am not familiar with Marissa Meyer, and shame on me, I guess, for that.
I'm not
because
either.
she sounds like a smart lady.
It does, but you know what this proved? Bruce is the smartest man in the room right now.
That's right. Which is why I like to hang with Bruce.
Exactly. But that is a brilliant statement, though.
It is.
You know, it kind of goes along, and I've heard the statement before too about people. If you're going to hire people, why would you hire people smarter than you? Hire people that could take your job, right? I know that's a scary thing, but you want to hire a bunch of dummies? If you hire dummies, you're going to have dummies, right?
I need all the help I can. I want to move forward, and I want people pushing and pulling, to get me there. Okay.
There it is.
Anonymous. Okay.
Hey,
Well,
I'm going to claim that I'm anonymous. Nobody can prove I'm not.
Oh my goodness, this is good stuff, RC.
Good stuff.
Okay, let me ask you something totally different. Okay.
Yes.
I know you have watched our show many times. We have two questions that are kind of a tradition. One of them I can't ask you because it's not going to make any sense. But let's talk skincare for a moment.
Oh, here we go. I knew it was going to happen.
You knew I was going to ask you. So, what do you think? I mean, do you think is that a manly thing? Do you moisturize? I mean, let me tell you, Bam came out with the products. I mean, he had them all lined up. What do you think? Do you moisturize, Randy? Do you exfoliate? Do you know what exfoliate means?
I do know. Is that little poofy thing that hangs in the shower? Is that what that's for?
No, that will exfoliate. Yes, but that is removing dead skin cells.
Okay. Anyway, let me answer this. I'm going to come across pretty. What would that word be? Metrosexual, maybe, with this. But
okay.
I do use conditioner in my hair, and I do put on a stuff at night to maybe not have quite as many wrinkles someday when I get older. I don't. I'm a bad about one thing. As we know, I live in Southern Florida, so I'm in the sun all the time. When I'm in Michigan,
don't say sunscreen. You better use sunscreen.
I do not. I get yelled at. I get yelled at from Dixie Chick all the time.
I will. Amen. You keep it up, Dixie Chick, because
hey, floating in the pool, getting some rays. I know I'm bad, but if I start really feeling like my face is burning, I might throw some SPF 7 on or something, But I mean, I don't think it's. And I grew up on a farm, in a small little town of 1,201 people. So when the four of us left town, the little sign flipped in the rearview mirror back to 1197, and also with a goodbye. And there was this one finger up. I won't do it, but one finger up in the air. I'm not sure what that meant, but anyway, I always took it that as I'm number one, and that's why I set out to be for the rest of life. But so back in the day, I probably would not have said I would use any of that, or I certainly wouldn't admit it. But I think in today's world, I don't think it's anti-man to take care of yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
Did that answer your question?
It did answer my question, and I'm not surprised. I do want you to wear sunscreen, though, and I'm going to be on you about that.
Sea salt. I like sea salt.
Okay, are you talking about every time you go through the mall, they always want to put sea salt products on you?
That's where I bought my last stuff because I got hooked in by the little kiosk. But anyway, yes. But I like it at a nicer restaurant. They'll have a little dish, and you take the little stick.
Oh, yeah, that's wonderful.
Oh, that is nice. That is nice. The only thing is, I found, I won't get overly stupid here, but this is not necessarily a family show, but apparently you're not supposed to drop trowel and use it all over your body. Who knew? They need a sign.
I didn't know that.
They need a sign.
In the restaurant. That's what you mean, right?
Yeah, it wasn't a bathroom. I mean, I wouldn't do it out in the middle of the restaurant.
You know what?
Not my fault. They should put a sign up.
But thank you for letting me know that, because you never know. I mean, that stuff's pretty good.
It is. I like it.
If you feel so inclined. I guess if you feel so inclined, don't do it. So.
Truth.
Well, Randy, it has been wonderful having you on the show. Again, we have missed terribly Kellen, but I have just enjoyed speaking with you as I always do. And if you just wanted to leave our viewers here with some wonderful advice other than bye from Randy, what would you say?
Good question. I would say very briefly and easily, I would say this, and I said it earlier, and it's in a little acronym that I use sometimes, and I'm not going to say it all tonight because I'm still working on some things to use down the road. But I said it earlier, engagement. Quit existing in life and start engaging in life. All aspects. Don't get up in the morning and look in the mirror and go, yo, what's up? I think today I'll be mediocre. Actually, I think today I'm going to be, I love the word mediocre because I like to say it. But I hate mediocre, right? I think today, Randy, today, let's be a C. Let's be C-ish. Kind of feeling a little crappy. Let's be maybe a C minus. I have a little spurt in the afternoon. I'll do C plus work. No, engage in your day, right? Yeah. Give it everything you got. Go engage in your day, and I said this on a little walk and talk I did the other day for my final words. I promise is you're gonna have suck, right? There's gonna be some suck in a day sometimes. Address the suck. Most suck is 20 minutes. Not really, but I always say suck is 20 minutes. Address the suck head on, punch it in the nose, put it aside, and go back and engage with a good day. Because if you really do become what you think about, you really do. And I just have no room in my life for negative, you know. And I'm not saying I'm perfect with that. I might have thrown my cell phone in the back seat of my car on the interstate in New York State one time on the New York Thruway, and had to pull off the side of the road and stand on my butt out the window, digging around under the seat, trying to find my phone. So I'm not saying that you don't react negative sometimes when things really irritate you, but you got to let that go. You can't let that go on and on and on. So engage. That's really more than anything. If you just quit existing, because you see so many people that merely exist every day, right? Don't exist. We only go around once.
You know what? And amen to that. And as we spoke, for those of you who were with us at the beginning of the show, I mean, it just flies by. It just, you know, you're 1 minute, you're 18, the next minute you're older than that, you know, and you're like, where did it go? So yeah.
Embrace the suck, John Marchand, right on. Embrace the suck, because it's going to happen. So don't be surprised by it. And the other thing, and that made me think of one other thing. I'm sorry, it's really important, I think. Expect success. You should plan for it, anticipate it, but expect it, right? Expect success. I expect every day that, and this may come across, I mean it to sound different than what I mean it to sound, but I expect every day I'm going to win. And if that sounds egotistical or it sounds whatever, I don't mean it to be that way. But why would I expect to lose? I don't.
That's right.
Now I might. I mean, I don't win every day, but I sure as hell don't expect it.
Yeah, but you win most days. Yeah,
pardon?
You win most days.
Well, most days.
You know, I'm excited. I'm excited for all the things you're going to teach baby Noah. You know how fortunate he is to have you, and just perpetuate the greatness. So
great grandpa at 45 years old.
Can you imagine? You've been busy, RC.
Hey, you know what's funny? Being a great grandpa is not that odd to me because I've been a grandpa forever, right? My granddaughter they had Noah was 22. It's not like I'm inexperienced at being a papa. But when I referred to my son the other day, who's 42, Noah's grandpa now, as grandpa. My son is grandpa. Because I don't care if he's 42, my other son's 40, they're still your little guy still in a way, right? You still, right? Grandpa, are you kidding me?
I'm getting a late start on that. I'm 53 and no grandbabies in sight.
So you have to stay around a while because you need at least one great grand. I need several years of the great grandson and whatever else comes along to kind of espouse all that great wisdom. And big thing about that is I'm two levels down when we do together in diaper patrol, because that should be mom or dad first. If it's not, it should be grandpa and grandma next before it gets to the great grandparents. And by that time, I'm going to be outside somewhere.
You know what? I was frozen, but I'm sure what you were saying is the last thing I said, I think, was I was 53, and I'm sure you were, disputing that.
Exactly. So, but thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. I'm sorry that Kellen was sick and wasn't with us, but.
Thanks, Bruce. Zach says, embrace the suck, take it head on, then kick butt and embrace the suck again by sucking down some cold ones at the end of the day and celebrate the day's victories.
Cheers, my brother.
That sounds wonderful. I'm a Diet Coke girl, but absolutely. So thanks, Zach. Well, y'all, thanks so much for joining us. Randy, again, thank you so much for all that you have taught us tonight and for always being such a wonderful inspiration and just an all-around good guy. RC.
Would you send a note home to my wife?
So, say what? I'm sorry?
I said, would you send a note home?
A note? I need to get a card that wows and see if I can send that to Dixie Chick.
Randy is a great guy.
Randy is a great guy. Yeah.
I could use that.
Anyway,
all right. Well, thank you for having me. Awesome show.
Thank you so much. Okay, everybody, thanks for watching and have a wonderful week. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.